Dream Life is Real Life groupies. Hannah here with a new microphone. This is not the exciting life update, but let me know, how do I sound? You guys into this new Yeti? We'll get to the reason why exactly I invested in a big microphone, especially as I'm embarking on travel and putting my life into a backpack. But I wanted to jump in here today to clear up a couple of questions I've been getting and share with you guys some new huge opportunities that I've been working on creating for you guys. So, and to be totally honest, people have literally been asking me to do more interviews. So just about a year ago, I started doing a lot of content in this Facebook group by interviewing successful entrepreneurs and educators and mindfulness instructors to really get you to give you their personal stories as well as their strategies in creating their dream life or earning a lot of money online or having more time and financial freedom. And while I loved those conversations and I made so many amazing connections and you guys got a ton of value, I have stopped doing them. So I still come in here by myself every now and then, yet I have stopped doing interviews in the Facebook group for several reasons. The biggest reason I'm stepping away from the Facebook interviews is because I don't like Facebook. So some of you know that in in college, I didn't have Facebook. I got off of it very consciously in my late teens because I found myself doing things just for the tag, just to be seen, just to be cool. And I felt like people were just demonstrating aspect of their life and it didn't feel authentic and I didn't want to be a part of it. So I wasn't on Facebook until after I graduated college. And now here I am, I started a Facebook group when I moved to San Francisco and I was honestly feeling lonely. Okay. Creating my Facebook group was always to find that connection. And that's why I have had my profile as to stay connected with my college friends who moved all over the place. And so here I find myself running a business online and of course social media huge role in my ability to do what I do, except for I'm back in that place where I feel like it is not my place to be on Facebook all the time. And so I have given you guys a few strategies to help you get off social media. But in order to walk the walk and practice what I preach, the past couple of months, I have been taking huge strides to move my business to other places. This Facebook group, and holy cow, have the benefits been amazing. So a few weeks ago, I did a training about how to land speaking gigs. So let me just get right into it, okay? The first thing, the first way you can start taking your business offline is to speak in real life or to at least go to real life networking events. So even the times when I've spoken for free, I blogged about this in other places. I've talked about this in a training, for a panel. It was a free, okay, Hannah, come on down for this panel. I had a $6,000 sale that night. Another time I hosted a workshop just for free, wanting to grow my network. I enrolled an $8,000 client. And so my willingness to get offline and into real life has absolutely had an amazing ROI. And so that is one way that you can start growing your influence, your business model outside of Facebook, outside of Instagram. So that's one. I'm going to go through 5 today. And I have, I'm mentioning these trainings I've done on some of these topics, and I do have a new freebie for you guys. So comment freebie if you're interested in getting a 30-page workbook I've created. I'll, of course, be sharing that with you guys, but I want to give you sort of a sneak peek into what that's going to take a deep dive in. Speaking isn't like my most excited, high ROI strategy if you are willing and ready to put yourself into, real networking events. And so the workbook that I've created has templates and literally step-by-step what you need to do, everything from figuring out where do you need to be, how do you get invited, and then also what do you say. So consider speaking as your your business strategy to get clients actually lining up to work with you. So I could go on and on about the power of speaking in person, because the people that show up with you are already investing their time, already know you, they can sense your personality. They're not just looking at your Facebook posts or seeing you show up in everyone else's group all the time and having no choice but to know who you are, right? They chose to show up to that event with you, or interest if they're at the same event as you. So another way that I encourage you to step away from social media and really create expert positioning so that people are lining up is to write a book. So in January, most of you guys know that I published my first book. It's Amazon Kindle. Anyone can do this. And I remember super specifically, I was telling my mom, I was calling her, I published this book. I'm super excited. It's coming out, but like, it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about getting it. Like, I was like really playing it down. And she was like, Hannah, just because everyone can write a book and publish it doesn't mean that they do. And I found that she was right. And it was a huge differentiator in my business to put together a book. The month that I shared my book, I had over $30,000 in sales. Not because of the book a piece was bringing me revenue, but it was about the credibility and the awareness that the book brought me. So it's still out on Amazon. When people look for Dream Life is Real Life or look for my name, I populate as an author. They can go read my book. They can see on my website that I have a published piece, and that, really skyrockets your credibility, and again brings people to say, I want more of you. How did you accomplish these things? I loved X. If this is what she gives away in a book, what does she do in coaching or in a one-on-one relationship? So again, in this freebie, I give you I think it's 8 steps of exactly how do you go from either having a couple of blog posts, maybe you have some things that you've written before, or maybe you have absolutely nothing and you're like, how do I even start writing a book? Again, comment freebie, and I'll make sure that you get this freebie, because not only getting also how to write your first book is included in this new freebie. Number 3 is to think about your SEO. So another thing I did this year was launch a completely new website. And one of the big strategies with the website was to use search engine optimization, SEO. Now, if you are speaking and you have a book, those are already things that are going to help you show up in search engine. Just because your name is out there, some events you've been talking at, your book is going to show up, because social media is 12% of the internet. So if you think of the internet as like this big pie, okay, and you're only on Facebook, you have got a tiny piece of pie that is a sliver of the World Wide Web. And so if you think about the billions of users talking to a sliver, you are missing out hugely. So the majority of internet traffic is Google. And so you need to be optimizing your name and your brand and your work for Google, not Facebook. Okay, if you type in Dream Life is Real Life on Google, you're going to see Facebook as 1, and then you're going to see 5 pages of other content. And so tons of you to be populating Google. And again, this is all outlined in the freebie. 8 starter steps to get your website ranking on Google. Something you will want to think about are your keywords. So as you're writing your book, or you're creating speaking events, or you are writing a blog, you want to be speaking about keywords, and you want to be using the exact phrases that your clients or your people are going to. So, let's say you are a health coach. You want to write blog posts that have phrases like, how do I lose 10 pounds? Or how do I overcome chronic fatigue? Okay, because those are the things that people are Googling. And Google is a massive machine at bringing you leads. So again, comment freebie if SEO is something you want to learn more about. All of these strategies are in the freebie, and every single topic has at least of how you can implement speaking, writing a book, and now SEO. Okay, the fourth one that I know you guys hear me talking about a lot, but it is so powerful, is influencer marketing. So how do you engage thought leaders to work with you, to promote your brand? Because guess what? Even if you are speaking and you have a book and your website is awesome, you can only talk about yourself until you're blue in the face. You want more people to be talking about you. And so having other folks leverage their platform by creating a win-win-win opportunity. And by that I mean, think about, okay, what could advance my brand? Could I work with someone who has a similar offer or who is doing something with a different audience that really relates to what my audience needs? Okay, so it's gonna benefit you by helping you find more ultimately. Secondly, how is it going to help that person win? How is it going to help your guest or your influencer partner win? Again, it's going to be about you bringing a ton of value to their mission, to their audience. And then the third piece is, how does the audience win? And so the more that you can create win-win-win opportunities, whether it's a summit or, again, a conference, a guest blog post, a live interview. If you do want to be on Facebook, you could do interviews lots of places. But influencer marketing and leveraging other peers' platforms has been incredibly powerful for me. So you guys know that this next week, June 15th, I'm doing a big summit with 4 other millennials who are helping folks create an exit plan from their corporate job. And so those folks are putting my face in all of their emails, and they're posting it to their LinkedIn, and they're sharing it with their clients, and huge audience because 4 of us are sharing. Does that make sense? Again, influencer marketing, step by step, how to identify your collaborators, how to reach out to them, how to make win-win-win, and then ultimately how to grow your audience without having to sit on Facebook. Influencer marketing, again, is in the freebie. Comment freebie if you want me to share it with you. We've got 4. You could think about speaking. You could think about writing. Think about optimizing your website or at least your blog posts for search engine optimization. And then number 4 is to use influencer marketing, of course, because influencer marketing really can relate to any of these strategies. You could co-author a book with me. Who knows? Okay. The last one, and the one related to my big life update, is to get into podcasting game. So I am so excited to share with all of you that I have launched my podcast. So the Dream Life is Real Life podcast, stories and strategies to educate and inspire you to take big steps in your life, is live at dreamlifeisreallife.com/podcast. And so the interviews that we used to do on Facebook are going to be very similar over on the podcast. Take it with you. It will be syndicated on iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Stitcher, all these websites that you'll be able to find it and listen on the go and not have to be consumed in Facebook. Because guess what? In order to scroll to my interviews, you have to scroll past 80 other people yelling at you. Does anyone else feel like Facebook just has people yelling at each other? I'm in so many groups right now with entrepreneurs and spiritual coaches and digital nomads, and I joined them for the community. And here I am several months later feeling like I'm being yelled at, with people stepping on top of each other, trying to be the loudest, trying to have the most flashy photo, trying to have the longest post that really speaks to the heart. And maybe that's working for folks, but copywriting is not my pleasure. It is not my zone of genius. Talking to people is. So that's why I've decided to make a podcast. We're going to talk a bit more about podcasts in a second, but also understand that I just mentioned to you, okay, all these places you can find me. And I just finished a episode with someone, and they were like, this was so great. I think this is going to help a lot of people. I wish I just had you in my ear every morning. And now you guys can. You don't have to be on Facebook to listen to the stories and strategies. So you guys are going to get a ton of impact on our people and share lots of people's stories, right? So influencer marketing, having guests, having collaborations every single week. That's also going to support SEO, because here I am creating episodes every week under my name, under my brand, and it's on many websites. Google will start understanding who I am and what I do and be showing up on websites more and more. Maybe someday I'll mention I have a book on the podcast. Go purchase my book. Do you understand that podcasting supports all of these other strategies? And of course I'm speaking, which is going to, improve my speaking skills and also create a platform for future conferences. And they're like, well, give us a snippet of your talking. Here, I've got 50 podcast episodes for you to listen to. So podcasting is where influencers, where thought leaders are going. And you don't have to start your own podcast, but I highly encourage at least getting interviewed on podcasts to your vision board, to your marketing strategy, because there are innumerable statistics out there. One I just learned is that listeners to a podcast are 80% more likely to buy than a Facebook group member. Because, like I said, there are so many Facebook groups and we're all just yelling, and it's hard to build that know, like, and trust factor on Facebook these days. Yet when someone is tuning into your podcast and they're choosing to plug in, they're clicking listen, and they're taking you with them into their life, they're much more statistically willing to convert. Also, you own podcasts. So I'm recording it, I'm putting it on my website, dreamlifeisreallife.com/podcast. And so if iTunes falls apart, or Facebook changes its rules, or Instagram to completely change, I still have hours of content. I have a presence across the internet, not just on one sliver. Remember, I'm eating my whole pie. And I get the opportunity to engage with amazing people, invite amazing teachers, entrepreneurs, like-minded go-getters onto my show. So I'm growing my network. I'm learning from them, networking. And then #influencer marketing, they get excited and they go share the interview because I give them value, and we have created a win-win-win. So again, if you are interested in taking your time back, getting off of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, they worked. But you got to work that, right? Social media is work. You guys, like I said, I've never loved Facebook, and I had a brief love affair with Instagram. But even now that I'm like positioning myself to get ideal followers on Instagram, I feel like I'm just competing, like I'm just yelling, like I'm just posting to post. And so if you're ready to get authentic content rolling and move your strategy off of depending on social media and differentiate your lead generation, comment freebie, get the opportunity to get this new workbook that I've created. The other thing is, you don't have to take any of this. You can continue running a Facebook group. If this is, if your vision is to do just, online support and you want to inspire some people, Facebook is a great place to do that. Go post some quotes on Instagram. But if you are looking to grow a long-term, sustainable business that is going to be consistent no matter what the heck the weather is on the internet, multiple places that you're showing up, you know that whether Facebook ads die or iTunes blows up, you're going to be okay. Then that's who needs this freebie. People who want to differentiate their lead generation to ensure that their business is scalable and not susceptible to external shifts. What do you guys think? Say freebie. And then go listen to the first 2 episodes of the podcast. FreeBies.com/podcast is my new baby. I'll be taking it on the road with me, so you guys can tune in every single Monday. A new episode will be published where I interview successful people, from moms who started at-home network marketing businesses to yoga teachers who are changing the way we think about mindfulness, to hip hop artists who are impacting second graders around the world, to small business owners who are taxing their income by working less, okay? These are the stories I want to bring to you because I know there's something about personal connection. And when you can hear a story that relates to you, this is how I've taken action in my life. And I want that ripple effect. And I want those strategies to become more accessible. So check out dreamlifeisreallife.com/podcast. Let me know what you think. And again, if you want to start differentiating your work, getting off of the social media, compare, groan, I have to post. Anyone else in that lifestyle right now? I was there. And I decided to differentiate. And I would love for you guys to start considering the same for you and your business in order to have the legacy that you want. And I decided a few months ago, my legacy is not going to be a Facebook influencer. It's going to be a thought leader. So if you want to join me, check out these resources. I will be back on Monday. I will still be here for you guys on Facebook, but know that my interviews and a lot of my content is shifting to the podcast, my website. And if you want to do the same, comment freebie and we will get rocking and rolling. Have a great Tuesday. And don't forget, your dream life is your real life. So don't waste another day of that dream life scrolling aimlessly. Please, I have resources for you. So comment freebie podcast with you guys. Thank you so much for doing what you do. Talk to you soon.